Okay, so this video is going to be about, I'm just gonna freeball this, you know what I mean? I'm gonna leave links in the description. In case people don't know what freeballing is, it's when you wear pants without wearing undergarments underneath, but that's not technically what I'm doing. I'm just doing this I don't really have this video planned except for the fact that I gathered some links. Essentially, what people need to understand, one of the good things is that the Federal Bureau of Investigation released pictures of the people they're looking for, and there were at least 2 people of color in the people that stormed the Capitol. So Nancy Pelosi's statement that these people chose whiteness over democracy is slowly coming unraveled, but nobody will care. What I want to point out is I got in an argument with a gentleman on another video, a comment section of another video on YouTube, and he magically doesn't remember Eric Holder, and I'm going to leave a link to this. Eric Holder, when Eric Holder was the Attorney General, when Eric Holder said, quote, "I'm the Attorney General, but I'm a black man." Okay? The racially charged nature of certain statements, or Barack Obama with, "If I had a son, he would be Trayvon," whipping up anti-white sentiment against a dude that wasn't even white. If you remember George Zimmerman, George Zimmerman was, I believe, Mexican and Hispanic and Jewish. I believe he was Mexican. He might have been some other kind of Hispanic, but I think he was Mexican. And Jewish. So George Zimmerman wasn't even white, and also George Zimmerman volunteered with at-risk African-American youths. He clearly was not like some crazy racist dude, but the media and the president at the time, President Barack Obama, could not resist whipping people into an anti-white frenzy, just like Eric Holder couldn't resist whipping the rioters in Ferguson, Missouri into an anti-white frenzy by stating that he was on their side, not the side of the criminal justice system, or the side of justice for that matter, but on their side, and that he was not on the side of, basically he was saying, "I'm not on the side of the truth, I'm on the side of you people that are burning things down and attacking people in the streets and getting in gunfights with each other," is what he said in Ferguson, Missouri, essentially. That's not the words he used, but that's what he said by saying, "I'm on your side, and I might be the Attorney General, but I'm also a black man." Okay, that's what that does, when you racially charge these things. Also, again, I quieted these things down during the 2020 election because I wanted Biden to win because, one, the Biden crime bill is far superior to Trump after Trump reversed the Biden crime bill. That's why we have a lot of the crime we have. That First Step Act has really done a lot of damage. But Kamala Harris took to Twitter during the 2020 election over and over and over again saying, "Say her name," which is Breonna Taylor. Say her name, say her name. And I'm going to leave links to actually Tatum, Officer Tatum, who does a great breakdown of the Breonna Taylor case. But more importantly, why wasn't Kamala Harris, who's a former district attorney, why wasn't she saying, "Say her name, Jessica Whitaker," the young lady that was murdered in front of her children by Black Lives Matter for saying all lives matter? Or I'm sorry, not by Black Lives Matter, by people claiming to be Black Lives Matter. Or Cannon Hinnant, a young white child that was shot point blank in the head by a black man. Okay, why was she not saying, "Say his name" and "say her name"? Did their lives not matter? And apparently all the people that died in the Chaz Chop debacle, when Antifa and BLM took over a sizable chunk of Seattle, their lives don't matter. Now, remember, they were, I believe, all black people. Might have been just predominantly black people, but I believe they were all black people that were murdered by Antifa and BLM in this war in Chaz Chop, or, you know, the Capitol Hill Autonomous Zone thing. So my point is that the incitement of anti-white racism from Barack Obama, Eric Holder, Kamala Harris, And even Donald Trump, when Donald Trump states, which is an untrue statement, that African Americans built the United States. Okay, which was pandering to them, of course. But that's even a racially charged statement, which is an untrue statement. My ancestors came here from England and Germany. My father's side came here from England, Germany, and Holland way back when. And my mom's family came here from Ireland and Brazil. From Brazil, they came from Italy first. But my point is other people came here first. And not the majority of people that built this country did not own slaves. And you can't even say that the slaves built the country just because of the sheer numbers. There wasn't enough of them to build the country. They helped in building the country, primarily in the field of agriculture, which was mostly cash cropping too. Most of the food crops were grown on family farms. The cash cropping, which did not feed Americans, so it was actually just making rich people richer, at the expense of the white worker, which should have been hired to work these fields, were grown on family farms. So like the non-cash crops, like the apples, the sweet potatoes, the food, which fed the workers and fed the Americans, weren't primarily grown with slave labor. Cotton was, which you could arguably say cotton was used to make clothing, but cotton was, and tobacco was, these things were were grown to make rich people richer. They were not grown to make, to feed the population. Okay, so you can't even argue that very well. But Donald Trump does. So you have this anti-white racism coming from the top down. And this is the thing that I think needs to be dealt with. Now, out of the people that attacked the Capitol, 3 of them, at least 3, I'm assuming a lot more, were veterans. 2 were Air Force veterans, and 1 was a naval veteran. Actually, that guy, the bull guy, the bull god, he understand, the illegitimate son of man, or whatever the hell he is, he was actually not just a shaman, as he says, which his depiction of shamanism is not exactly the definition I would give if I was talking about shamanism or Tengerism. But not only is he an alleged shaman, he's also an actor and naval veteran. And the unfortunate thing that happened with the young lady that got shot in the head trying to get into the Capitol building, she was an Air Force veteran, and Zip Tie Guy, the guy that was running around the Capitol with zip ties, was another Air Force veteran. When I was on Facebook, before I got thrown off of Facebook, this imbecile, a friend of mine, wanted me to help this idiot that had a couple kids that had cystic fibrosis, wanted me, because a lot of my friends on Facebook were scientists and physicians working with genetic medicine and anti-aging medicine and gerontology and things like that, wanted me to try and help him get help for his children, which I kind of tried to. But his arrogant ass, and this is the thing, you cannot help a Trump supporter. You can't do it. Trust me on that. I tried. Not with this dude, but with other people. He would argue with me. He'd come up with these idiotic conspiracy theories about how Donald Trump's going to do this, and Donald Trump's going to do that, and Donald Trump. What has Donald Trump done? Donald Trump has passed the First Step Act, which has destroyed many inner cities of this country. Donald Trump has passed communist-style special opportunity zones, specifically for people of certain races and not for anybody else. That's another thing Donald Trump has done. Donald Trump has incited racial hatred in this country. Okay? Somehow, I don't even know how, but some of the people he's getting through to are these idiots. Now, but the thing is with this gentleman that I got in an argument with, not even an argument, eventually he didn't like the fact that I was anti-Trump and pro-Tulsi Gabbard and I had to push Biden because we ran out of Tulsi Gabbard, because all the idiots supported that desiccated Jewish mummy, what's his face, Bernie Sanders. So unfortunately, I had to start pushing what's his face, Joe Biden, because Tulsi Gabbard unfortunately lost. So he couldn't win with a legitimate argument because nobody beats me in a political argument. That's the truth. You can't beat reality. Okay? You can't beat reality with the power of your imagination. It doesn't work. Reality is objective. So he'd argue these crazy things, and then he finally had to get offensive and start insulting me for how I have to live and things like that. And you know what? It's cool. It's cool because, you know, this is the mentality of these Trump supporters. You can't get through to them. They are complete ignoramuses. And that's the thing is when people go, oh, well, this person was a veteran and that person was a veteran. You know, I got thrown out of the Coast Guard. The Coast Guard actually is a very extensive, you have to be smart and very strong to be in the Coast Guard. Physically, it's as badass as the Marine Corps, basically. And mentally, it's as badass as the Air Force. So you have to be somebody to get in there. Now, I got thrown out of there. I was only there for a few days for lying about my, I lied about my mental health history, okay? So when they found that out, I had to, vámonos. But the thing is, what happened was, luckily they did not prosecute me. They were very nice people. But my point is that if you ever meet veterans, I've met a lot of veterans through karate. A lot of veterans take karate and things like that. A lot of people join the United States military to kill people. That's their mentality. These are not good people that join the United States military. They're not like the people, like when my grandfather joined the military, he was like George Lincoln Rockwell. Okay, George Lincoln Rockwell, if you listen to one of George Lincoln Rockwell's speeches, he said, when they told me that Hitler was out to conquer the world and enslave the world, I did something about it. I'm quoting Rockwell. He said, I joined the Navy, and I went and I did something about it. Okay? And that was my grandfather, and many people of that generation, that was their mindset. A lot of them regretted it, and a lot of them came to the conclusion that it was a wrong mindset. Now, my grandfather was he wasn't a National Socialist or anything like that, but he understood things. He understood, in a way, you know, what did we fight this war for? I mean, some of the things that he would tell me when I was younger, now you have to remember I was only 11, so I couldn't understand well, but some people that fought in that war realized, what did we fight the war for? To give over half of Europe to communism? To hand Asia to the communists? To hand China to the communists? To hand Latin America to the communists? Why did Americans die? Why did we die? My family, a good portion of my family, were German. Okay, so why did we go kill our cousins to support the spread of communism? Okay, and that's what some World War II veterans understood. Okay, the type of people we have joining the military since, I would say, the 1990s, you have people with the mentality that they want to be a secret agent and they want to go around pew, 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 pew. You know what I mean? You don't, it's this video game mindset. There's this idea, pew, 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 you know? A lot of them are not as patriotic as people might think they are, okay? And getting back to, I'll say why I joined the Coast Guard, okay? The reason I joined the Coast Guard, I was approached by the Marine Corps because my karate instructor was a Marine. He allowed this dude to put his stuff in the karate school to help recruit people from the karate school into the Marine Corps. And he ran into me one day coming out. I had my head shaved because at the time I was a skinhead. So I have my head shaved. I'm all muscled up from weight, because at the time I was weightlifting, doing karate a lot. He goes, "Man, boy, you look like a Marine." Okay. So I talked to him and all that, but the thing is, this is right after 9/11, and like Tulsi Gabbard is an example of a veteran like my grandfather. Okay, when she heard that Al-Qaeda attacked us, she went and she did something about it. She joined the military and she went and she wanted to do something to take care of the people. And by take care of them, I don't mean I don't mean be nice to them. I mean get rid of the people that attacked us on 9/11. So she is more of a person somewhat like my grandfather, not like one of these kooky people that just joins the military to kill people. And that gets back to why I joined the Coast Guard, but I did get thrown out. I want to be very clear. I'm not claiming any type of stolen valor or anything. I was only in for a few days. What happened was I lied about my mental health history, and when they found that out, they had to let me go. Okay, so let me get back to this. The reason I joined the Coast Guard is one of the only branches of the armed services. It's not the military. It's only one of the only branches of the armed services of the United States that actually helps people in the United States. Okay, you can say the National Guard does and all this, but a lot of what our military does is we're fighting wars for no good reason, except to support the military-industrial complex and to support the what I consider the illegal state of Israel. Okay, but just because I consider it an illegal state, that doesn't matter. My point is, but I do think it's hilarious that Benjamin Netanyahu turned on Donald Trump, and AIPAC and the ADL turned on Donald Trump and want him to step down. I thought that was absolutely golden. I thought that was probably the icing on the cake of this thing. And he should step down. In my opinion, Donald Trump should be impeached and be given a life prison sentence for encouraging treason. Holy God Almighty. Donald Trump has me agreeing with AIPAC and Benjamin Netanyahu. Holy God. That's all I can say on that. Wow. I just realized that. So my point is back to the beginning of this. See, this is not an organized video. I didn't even think about how I was going to do this video. I just, boom, I'm doing it. I'm freeballing it. So my point is you have all this anti-white hatred coming from the top. And you have rioters that were Trump supporters. These were not people. The thing that irks me so much about Nancy Pelosi's words is she stated specifically these Trump supporters, she didn't say Trump supporters, I think she said rioters, did this because they chose whiteness over democracy. If this was motivated by race, like the Charlottesville thing, okay? Now the Charlottesville thing, I will defend that what's his name, James Holmes, he was just trying to get out of there in my opinion, okay? But the Charlottesville thing, I can understand how that was motivated by race. That was people acting like idiots, and it was motivated by race. Okay? I agree with that. It was stupid, what have you. But for Nancy Pelosi to state this racist comment, and for Barack Obama to whip up a racist frenzy against white people when he was in office, and for Kamala Harris to race bait, not once but twice, because remember, she accused Joe Biden of being racist while she was running for office. When she was running for president against Joe Biden, she accused him of being racist. So my point is that these liberals get away with it, including Donald Trump. These liberals keep getting away with promoting anti-white hatred all throughout society. This is promoted in the media, all throughout the media. We're the only group of people it's okay to be bigoted towards. Okay, you can't even be bigoted towards fat people now. Okay, but white people you can hate. You can make fun of white people. Okay, my point is that this shouldn't be allowed to stand. And the only way it's not going to be allowed to stand is if more white people stand up and say something. Peacefully, calmly, coolly. I honestly do think, like I contacted my state representative and told him that he needs to work to hold Nancy Pelosi accountable for her racist hate speech against white Americans. And I'm going to give him a call tomorrow and tell him over the phone. I emailed him, but I'm going to call him because this is outrageous. This is promoting racism against whites, and it cannot stand. She should be forced to step down from her position as Speaker of the House and be forced to step down from her position as a senator. She has no business making the laws of this country if she's going to promote racism. And that goes for other people that do that. I mean, if Ilhan Omar can't be honest and state that AIPAC lobbies for Israel, when you can't admit that an Israeli lobbying firm lobbies for Israel, when that's considered racist, you better believe that what Mrs. Pelosi said is racist and should not stand. And that's all for this video.